Good evening, everybody. Brian Newbert here from goldenblack.com. Just wanted to cut a quick little video here to pass along some updates on some things going on with our company, our staff at goldenblack.com, some things going on with me that are affecting what's going on with our staff at goldenblack.com. I just wasted most of my day over at the arena trying to get this video right and trying to say what I wanted to say correctly and all of that stuff. Finally got dislodged by like a high school dance recital and the music they were playing. So I was not able to get that done over there. Again, wasted half my day trying to do this. So I'm just throwing this all out there because I don't want people speculating. Anyway, first off, welcome to Mike Carmen to the goldenblack.com family. You know Mike from his legendary career at the Lafayette Journal and Courier. Covered Purdue for many years, done it second to none, and he will be joining us. He's always been an extended member of the goldenblack.com family, and now he's married into it. He will be joining us on a temporary basis beginning Saturday for the Purdue Davidson game. He will be helping us with our basketball coverage. He will be making it better. He will be making it more complete, and he will be making us as a group that much more handsome. Ultimately, at some point in this season, I don't know when this moment comes, he will be replacing me as the primary beat writer on a temporary basis. I have a brain tumor, an oligodendroglioma, if you're not into the whole brevity thing. And I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to die. But it's got to come out. So at some point, and it's not scheduled yet, I knew when was going to be, and then I didn't know when was going to be, and then I knew again when would be, and then I again didn't know when will be, and now once again, as of this morning, based on the phone call I got from my provider, I once again, do not know when will be. Now you tell me, have you ever met anybody with a brain tumor who could have pulled that sentence off? Not that I pulled it off, but I'm going to take credit for it. That's kind of the point I wanted to make here is I'm good. I have known about this for months, literally months. I have covered every Purdue basketball game this year in God knows how many time zones with a brain tumor. And the only thing I can say about that is that the typos were not me. They were the brain tumor. But I'm okay. As some of you know, if you go back far enough with us, I've done this twice before, 1999 and 2004. And I recovered well from both. I will tell you that the 3 Brain Surgery Club is not a club you want to be in. Unfortunately, sadly, our retention rates aren't very good. But this is not a dire situation. Again, I've known about this for months, and I've not, had any sort of symptoms. There have been no symptoms. There have been no headaches. There have been no neurological episodes. It's just been me in my default setting of perpetually agitated, generally competent, and mildly, all right, perhaps my lapses in vocabulary are starting to fail a little bit. But what my point is here is that while you never want to be in the 3 Brain Surgery Club, and you never want on your resume it to say he's really good at recovering from brain surgery, we have caught this early. The tumor is small. It is by every account growing slowly, which is atypical of these things, because normally when they come back with bad intentions, and oftentimes they're coming to get you. This is not happening for me, and this is highly accessible via surgery. The problem we have had is that I need a couple of different surgeons there, because this is a more complicated deal than just someone having their first brain surgery. I've had 4 surgeries on my scalp now, and we need a variety of different disciplines represented in the room that day. So when that day will be, we don't know. But I do know that when Mike and I are working together on the Purdue basketball beat, our coverage will be outstanding. And when I'm gone, whenever that is, and for however long that will be, our coverage will remain outstanding. And don't worry about me, okay? I again, have known about this for months. I found it in the summer We found it in the summer. I went in for my routine scan, and stuff showed up. And that was not all that uncommon because my surgical cavity. Now, listen, I'm just waving all my HIPAA rights left and right here. I don't care. What the hell do I care? Anyway, my surgical cavity is a complete train wreck right now. There's a cyst that's been there for a couple of years that we don't know where that came from. There's residual scar tissue from radiation years ago showing up. I had COVID that can show up on scans. I had a concussion a few years ago that can create, I slipped on ice outside the stadium in April. That can show up years later on a scan. So I didn't make all that much of it right away. But then he had me go back for another scan that I guess determines whether or not blood is moving through cells, and that can determine tumor matter, I guess you'd say. And that came up positive, or in my case, negative. So my neurosurgeon took it to all his colleagues for more opinions, and it was what they thought it was, and it's got to go. So that's what we're going to do. I got the call actually from him confirming that we had to have surgery when I was at the Target Center in Minneapolis for Big Ten Media Day. So that tells you how long this has been a thing. And I remember I talked to him on the phone. We kind of sort of negotiated a surgery date, a plan that was probably a little bit not aggressive enough on my part, but one he reluctantly agreed to. I ultimately wound up thinking better of it, talking to various, shall we say, stakeholders in my continued existence, and decided to go right ahead with it. But what my point was, well, I'm sitting there talking on the phone with my neurosurgeon in front of the 4 or 5 other media people who showed up to Big Ten Media Day this year in Minneapolis, and had that call, sat there for a few minutes contemplating my own mortality like I've been doing for the last 20 years. Filmed a video interview with Robbie Hummel, filmed a rap video, posted those, went back to my hotel, puked my guts out, spent the rest of the night walking around Minneapolis. Ever since then, I'm good. It's business as usual here. Everything's normal until it's not. So when it is time for me to leave, I will go quietly. I'm not gonna draw a whole lot of attention to this, but I am gonna let you know that when I do leave, I am gonna be back. I'm not going to die, okay? I'm not dying. I know how you're looking at me right now, and I feel it, and I don't like it. So stop looking at me like that. I know how people react when they hear the words brain tumor. But anyway, when I do go away, it's not going to be forever. I'm not going anywhere, okay? I got too much left going on in this world. My best self is still way too far out in front of me. I love my family too much, and I have too many speedy rewards points I still have to use to be dying anytime soon. When I go away, I'm going to be back at work as soon as I possibly can. I'm not going to be, you might not see me in the arena. You might not see my face. You sure as hell will not be seeing the top of my head anytime soon. Lucky for you. But you will hear my voice as soon as you can hear my voice. You will read my words as soon as you can read my words. And you will know I'm around as soon as you can. And as much as I love you guys for allowing me to be part of your lives, things like that, that's not for you. That's for me, because I'm going to tell you that when you recover from these things, it is a process. And the solution to the process, as with most any process, I think I've lost control of this sentence here, is that you set benchmarks, you set goals, you set markers for yourself, and you work to reach them. And you make sure you're moving forward at all times, and you're not just sitting there with your head stapled shut in Sports Center rerun hell in your recliner all day long. So I'm going to work to get back in some form or another as fast as I can for me. Now, that's not going to happen overnight. I'll tell you a couple of things about brain surgery that I hope you never have to find out for yourself. One, it ain't cheap, surprisingly, and the buy two get one free deal expired in like 2010, unfortunately. Two, you lose a little bit of yourself every time you do it. I felt that way both of the first 2 times. I was not the same when I came out as I was when I went in. Not markedly different, but a little bit less than what I was. It's like the lyric in the Springsteen song from The Wrestler about when the blood hits the floor, you leave with less than what you had before. It just a really powerful lyric that really speaks to me in particular. So much so that I can't even remember it to recite it correctly. But that, and then also it is a process. I can't make any promises in terms of how fast I'll be back. I know that's not important in the grand scheme of things, nor am I pretending it is. But you know, in the past, I have had to like relearn how to walk. I have had to fight off some left side paralysis. Not to bore you with too many details, but it is a laborious process, but it is one that I am undefeated in terms of quick, clean recoveries, and I intend to remain undefeated in. I am an older man now than I was before, but I'm just as stubborn, I'm just as stupid, and I'm just as focused on the 6 inches in front of my face and nothing more at all times. So I do also want to take this opportunity to thank Mike publicly. Mike has been a great friend for many, many years, ever since I was the 19-year-old meathead from the Exponent showing up at Purdue women's basketball games thinking he knew everything like all 19-year-olds seem to do. Ever since then, Mike has been a great friend. Mike has been a great professional. Mike has been my idol in this business. He's been the standard I've always held myself up against, and I have never met. I want to thank Alan, as always. This is the third time that I have put our company through this, and he has been with me every step of the way, and then some. I want to thank Tom, because ultimately some things are going to get dumped on him that you know, he will certainly be up to, but everybody has to do a little bit more when somebody's down, and ultimately this is going to affect everybody I work with. But do want to thank all of them. Obviously, my family is absolutely tremendous. I'm the luckiest man in the world because I have a wonderful family, and I have wonderful doctors. A doctor who I consider a personal friend and one of the most important people in my life. And there's nobody in the world I'd rather have my life in the hands of than Carl Sartorius in Indianapolis. For many years, I have looked forward to seeing my neurosurgeon every 6 months, every year, whatever the interval's been. Lately, maybe not so much, but what kind of person, what does it tell you about the neurosurgeon when patients look forward to seeing him? That's the sort of relationship I have with the guy who's going to determine my outcomes here, and whatnot, and just the faith I have in him, and the confidence that he gives me in this. He is personally invested in me, and that there's no better feeling as a patient whose life is on the line than knowing that your doctor is personally invested in your success, and you're not just some other patient coming through that he may or may not ever hear from again. So I'm going to be okay here. I implore you not to worry about me if you're so inclined. I'm humbled by everyone who already knows about this, the kindness they've shown thus far. It speaks volumes about the character of the people in my life. It really does. It speaks volumes to the character of the people our business tends to attract. It really does, and I cannot thank you enough. But I'm going to be okay. I'm going into this with my eyes wide open that there are outcomes here that are not ideal, shall we say, but they're also not going to happen because I've done this before. I will do it again, and you know, unfortunately, I am kind of built for it at this point. This might just be what I'm on this earth to do: is have brain surgery and recover from it. So, as The Rock said many, many years ago in a very different context, shut your damn mouth and know your damn role. So that's what I'm going to do now. But I just want to let you know what's going on. I didn't want anybody speculating about anything going on with our company as soon as you figured out Saturday that Mike Harmon was now with us. There is something going on with me, and you now know everything there is to know about it. So thank you so much, everyone, for all your continued support. And the awkward part of this is I'm making this announcement when I'm still going to be here for a couple weeks, a couple months, whatever it might be, probably months. So you will be hearing from me again Saturday. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll be talking to you.